Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to what is the disaster that is my shop. So if you've been keeping up with what I'm going to call the video blitz here, we've done a really good job of getting videos out to you guys. Two big projects going on. Trying to get the Cateye started, you know, we've put in a lot of time to that. And then good old skid mark here had its whole, you know, engine destruction deal. And Ignition Coils is right around the corner. So we have been exceedingly busy here at the BTG Performance Shop, working on both projects at the same time. Now, what I want to do today is I want to tell you guys where we're at on the Cateye, because it has not been neglected. We have worked even more on it, and we've come across an issue that can't be fixed here. So, but before I get to that, the last video you guys wanted to see the carnage, or what was actually wrong with Skid Mark's motor. Austin pulled it, but he didn't tear it down. He was waiting for me. This is Skid's motor that was in him. There is the new one. It's wrapped up because it doesn't have heads on it, and it's pretty exposed, and it's really clean. So I got the bag on it, so I don't want anything to get in it. So that's why it's covered up. But let me show you guys. And if you follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71, you guys have seen the piston, but look up inside of there. Holy crap. So there's the ring you're seeing up at the top, and the actual piston, the top part of the piston is just gone. It's gone. It's all gone. So that was our big issue on Skid Mark here. Now, another interesting thing we found out. Skid ate basically almost an entire tip off of a spark plug like a month and a half ago. And it was on this cylinder. And if you look on this piston, see that right there? Those little molten, like melted spots around it? That's where the plug, what was on the plug, ended up coming down here and smacking a piston and melting and all the other stuff. So there is definitely some internal damage due to nitrous here. That is 100%. And that is from melting the plug on it. The motor itself is still super, super clean. It looks great. We're going to have it sent off, torn down, fixed back up. And it'll be the motor that'll go back in after that one, because it's a good chance that one will not survive Ignition Coils. So just wanted to show you guys that. But let me get over here to the Cateye. And let me tell you another problem with Skid Mark before I forgot. See that chip missing out of the timing gear? We think it jumped timing when all the stuff went down. One of the bolts broke off in the cam, and the cam looks great, except for that bolt being broke off in it. So the cam was dropped off today at the guy that does our fabrication for us, and he is going to attempt to get that out of the cam without hurting the cam. So that way we don't have to buy another $400 Texas speed cam just to do a burnout and then blow it up and potentially ruin the $400 cam. But we'll get into that back on another Skid Mark video. Let's talk about the Cateye. So you guys know that we thought we had no fuel pump. So we pulled the tank down, put a new fuel pump in it, and it still didn't work. We thought, what in the world? So we took the old fuel pump, took our little wires here, I touched them to the battery, and the old fuel pump turns on. So we go, great. So it had nothing to do with the fuel pump. So now we're all wiring. Now we're checking relays. I go through every single relay. I pull all the wires out of the harness underneath of it, look for a broken wire, and I mean, it just, nights, we've spent a couple hours on a handful of nights on this thing, just trying to trace down this issue. Not a lot of help online, but I found one article about the security and how if you're not using the same key, it won't turn the fuel pump on for a security reason or whatever like that. Well, the problem is somehow, some way I've misplaced the original key to the Cateye. Now I have a spare key, so I'm trying to use a spare key, but it's a good chance where this thing is set with no battery, no nothing in it, that it wants the key that was last used, which would have been the main key. It's what I used to always use. The spare key was just a spare key. So what we think needs to happen is now we've got to go get this thing to Austin's actual shop, get it hooked up, look at it, see if that's exactly what's going on, if it's a security. If it is, program it to accept the spare key, and see if we don't get the fuel pump to turn on them. Now, open to suggestions. If you've got some other idea, then I'm open to hear it. But understand, It's a new fuel pump. It works. It's tested. No broken wires. All the relays are good. All of our grounds are good. There are no blown fuses. So, you know, if you've got something other than security that doesn't involve anything we've already checked, I'm open to hear it. So drop a comment down below if you've got an idea that is not something we've already done. But that's where we're at on the Cateye. It is definitely not a lack of wanting to get it done. I am working on it as we speak. I'm working on it tonight. Austin's coming down with the drive shaft finally. So progress still continues on the Cateye. We are juggling 2 projects, and we're just, like, I mean, you guys see, we're just popping out videos because we're working down here like we used to. It's just got back to be crazy again, you know. And poor Chris here, he's had a hell of a time with the transmission on the Mustang, and now there's a chance he might have COVID. So he was gonna come put the trans in. We're gonna help him get the trans in this weekend. I don't know if that's going to happen, so I hate that for him, but I know the feeling. I mean, it just, no matter how much we prepare, it always seems like it comes down to crunch time on these events that we do. For some reason, some way, it always comes down to the last minute. But, you know, that's part of the fun. It's part of just doing what we do. So, I don't want it any other way, because it's just what I've come to expect. So, with that being said, stay tuned for Skid Marks content. We will finish building that motor up and drop it in there, and hopefully do the next restart here coming up this weekend is the plan. Hopefully he'll be able to get that cam situated and we can get this thing going on. Big changes coming for Skid this winter. When we get back from Cleetus and Cars, we will really strip this thing down, and I'm not going to say start over, but go a different direction. Austin and I've got some pretty cool ideas as far as what to do. So that's going to be after Cleetus and Cars, so stay tuned for that. But big focus right now, get Skid Mark together for Cleetus and Cars, get the Cateye running again. Those are my 2 biggest concerns. More than likely, and there's actually some parts on here that I want to take back off of Skid that need to go on the Cateye, like its front bumper brackets. So, more than likely, we'll have the Cateye running, hopefully, within the next week or so. And it may not be completely put back together and, like, running on the road day to day until after Cleetus and Cars, but the hope is to get it running, and even maybe as far as get it to, you know, the tuner or something like that before Cleetus and Cars, just so we can, it's time. It's been a year. We want it back on the road. I'm going to make it happen. I'm dedicated to it, and I'm doing everything I can to make it happen, but we're just facing obstacles and hurdles like we always do on these builds, and it just is what it is. So I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed all the content recently. We're going to keep it up because there's so much more we've got going on here. The month of November will be crazy. There is much more work to be done to Skid Mark, work to be done to the Cateye, work to be done to the Duramax, all the preparation for Cleetus and Cars, and then the actual Cleetus and Cars event, all in the month of November. Big month. I appreciate you guys checking out all the videos throughout this month and supporting me. Drop any comments you got down below. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. Take care. Have a great day.